Hi, digital SAT test takers. Today we're working through a text structure and purpose question found in Bluebook Test 6, Module 2 Hard, Question 5. Let's take a look now. On painter William H. Jonson's return to the United States in 1938, after a decade in Europe, his style underwent an abrupt transformation. Turning away from landscapes painted in an expressionist style, a style that often involves using fluid, distorted shapes and thick, textured brushstrokes to express the artist's subjective experience of reality, Jonson began painting portraits of Black Americans in a bold new way. Evocative of African sculpture and American and Scandinavian folk art, these portraits feature flat, deliberately oversimplified figures and a vibrant but limited color palette. Which choice best describes the function of the underlined sentence in the text as a whole? So these types of questions can be a little more challenging than overall purpose questions because you have to understand what's happening in the passage, plus what the underlined sentence's role is in that passage. Why is that underlined portion there, in other words? So one strategy you could try when working through these problems or these questions are to look at these choices as parts. And if even one part of the choice is untrue, you can cross it off. In fact, if even one word is untrue in that choice, you can cross it off. So let's try that now. Choice A says, it elaborates on the previous sentence's statement about a transitional moment in Jonson's artistic career. So this part here, it elaborates on the previous sentence's statement. Is it elaborating? Well, in sentence 1, it's basically saying that the painter William Jonson, after he returned to the United States after being in Europe for a decade, his artistic style went through an abrupt transformation. Then the next statement says he turned away from the expressionist artistic style. This part here is just noise. It's a parenthetical that defines expressionism, which we really don't need, just distracts you. Then it says that he began painting portraits of Black Americans in a bold new way. So it does elaborate on the previous sentence's statement. Now let's look at this next part. Was that previous statement about a transitional moment in Jonson's artistic career? Yes, it was, because we're talking about how his artistic style went through an abrupt transformation. So I would say these parts all sound correct. So this is looking pretty good, but I'm going to go through the other choices just to be sure. Choice B says it provides information about Jonson's travels in support of a claim about his artistic influences, which is advanced in the following sentence. So if I look at this part here, it provides information about Jonson's travels. Is that true? Does the underlined portion talk about Jonson's travels? No, it doesn't. It's talking about his artistic style. So we can cross that off already. We don't have to go into detail with the other parts of this sentence because we know this first part is untrue. Choice C says it recounts, or in other words, it describes a moment in Jonson's personal life that enabled the success of his subsequent career, which is summarized in the following sentence. So, does the passage say anything about Jonson's success? We could assume he's successful, but it doesn't actually say that anywhere in this passage. So we can cross this off. This is untrue. And the underlined portion especially doesn't talk about his success. It's only given us information about how his artistic style changed. And then choice D says, it presents evidence that calls into question the previous sentence's characterization of Jonson's artistic development. So for this, the previous sentence's characterization of Jonson's development. Okay, the previous sentence doesn't necessarily characterize Jonson's artistic style. It merely states that his style changed. That's what the previous sentence does. That's why it's important to read carefully here. Furthermore, is the underlined statement evidence that makes one doubt whether Jonson moved away from expressionist painting? No, it's not. There's nothing that it's saying here that would call into question how his style had changed. So this is incorrect, which means that choice A is the only one with all of the parts that are true. So this is the correct answer, which is, again, it elaborates on the previous sentence's statement about a transitional moment in Jonson's artistic career. Choice A is correct. I hope you found this breakdown helpful. If you'd like more digital SAT content, please subscribe to our channel and feel free to let us know in the comments what you'd like for us to cover next. Thanks for watching.